Travis, to send the home fans home happy with that one must have been nice for this group to beat a pretty good hockey team in your last game in this building this year.
It really was. Nice way to end for our fans. Especially after we responded. I didn't like our first period. Talked to our team after the first, and I thought they came out in the second and third and competed really hard against a really good hockey team.
Tanner Pearson with a couple of goals tonight. Just as you've gotten him into your lineup here since the trade and seen what you've had in him, nice to see him get rewarded and find a home on that line, it seems like.
Yeah, that line was good, and he's been a nice addition. Bigger body that, he's strong on the puck. He understands the game. He understands what it takes to win. I've said it a few times. The guy, he's won Stanley Cups at a young age, and you can really see it in his game.
That's 5 goals in his last 7 games.
Yeah.
Just being acclimated to the club. I mean, he talked a bit about it, but
it's probably a little bit of opportunity and playing with Bo. I think they've got some chemistry, and he seems to be skating better than we first got him, and he's playing well.
Another physical game for Shen. Can you talk about what he's added to this team in the last little while here?
Well, the kid he fought's really tough, and there's a reason San Jose has him. And I think, he showed a lot of moxie fighting him early. And, so that's another example of a guy doing whatever it takes to, not just himself, but help the team.
Statistically, it's not easy to win when you trail going to the third
Yeah.
period. Thatcher, maybe his best sequence there. They had you guys sort of back on your heels in the first minute of the third.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you think of his night overall?
He was strong, looked solid. He was dialed in tonight. Might have been his best game.
We've seen you make lots of changes to your forward lines in games this season. Not quite as much your defensive pairs, but you had a few different looks out there tonight. What were you looking for in terms of, Hughes played with, I think, 3 or 4 different guys at various points?
Yeah, we were down, so we've talked to Quinn when he got here about his thoughts of playing on the right side. And, I thought if he could play the right, it's going to give him a chance to play in different spots and with different partners. We've tried him with Eddie a few times, and, he was good again tonight. He got a few more minutes than he did last game, and just looking comfortable.
You had Hughes out there with 3 or 4 minutes left, even with the 1-goal lead.
Yep.
So you've earned a little bit of trust there that he can play in the defensive zone.
Yeah, he is. That's what it's all about. It's us learning about him too.
What have you thought of his defensive play? Like everybody's focusing on what he can do offensively, but 2 ends of the ice so far. What have you seen?
I thought tonight was his best game as far as defensively goes. I thought he struggled a little bit last game against a big, strong team, and but you want to see your players learn as they go. We've shown him video after every game, and he's a smart kid, and that team's got a big, strong team as well. So he made some subtle good plays. Even the play that where he set up Brock on the 2-on-1, it all started with a good defensive play in his own zone, and that's a good example for a young D-man. Actually, I talked to him about it on the bench. So, he's learning what the NHL is all about, and we're learning about him as well.
What does this late season run mean to you? The fact that you guys have been able to put some wins together at a time that maybe, it is difficult to sort of not finding motivation, but they know, and we've asked you on a daily basis about playoff picture and everything else.
Well, you want a team that competes. Like, you want a team that wants to win. And, people come to the game to watch your team compete hard and try, and these are not easy games. They were playing good hockey teams. So that's what you want. As a coach, you want your team to really compete hard, and I thought tonight was a really good example of it after we weren't good in the first period. And looked a little off, looked like we weren't ready to play, I thought, in the first period at times, and the way we responded, I was proud of them tonight.
Travis, you're talking about Quinn and coachability and the fact that he's taking what you guys are saying. Does that give him a little bit more rope, knowing that if if he goes out there, he makes a mistake, you know that he's gonna get the feedback and correct it?
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of rope. I mean, this is, again, it's so early. It's 3 games, and we're still. I've said it. This will be the 3rd time we're learning about him and what he can handle and what he can't handle, and how he processes information, how not just offensively but defensively, and making sure that when we're putting him into situations and spots that he can handle it, because you don't want a young guy that goes out there and puts himself in a spot that he can't handle, and it works against him, especially down the stretch. You want him to feel good about his game going into the summer, and there's a process, I think, to working a young guy in, and you've seen his minutes go from 14 to 16 to 18 and a half. Now we're going on the road, so that's another, that's a different process in itself.
He didn't play tonight, but Jacob Markstrom is named your team MVP. You've talked a lot about how well he's played down the stretch here, but just another thought on a guy that came into the season still with a lot to prove and is going to walk out of the season as your most valuable player.
Yeah, I think it's the right pick. He's become a big part of our team. He's held our team into games when we've been short-manned and short-staffed, and found ways to win hockey games. And even the games we didn't win, he was still a big part of keeping us in hockey games. And you like to see that in players, the way he's matured on the ice and off the ice. It's quite fitting, I think.